back to the Brandmerry channel, where we are sharing personal branding and marketing strategies to help you increase your revenue and your impact. I am founder and CEO of Brandmerry.com. My name is Michelle Knight, and in today's video, I want to share with you how I created a six-figure course offer in my business. So number one is that I really recommend that you master your framework. This is one of the things that I did in my business pretty early on, and I've used it to be the driving force for all of my programs and my courses since then. It's also something that I teach inside of You Branded. It's one of the modules because I believe that your framework is part of the branding process. So many people brand an offer, or rather than branding the business as a whole. And when you brand an offer out of the gate, then you have trouble with scalability. So what I want you to focus on is branding you, right? The entrepreneur, and then getting super clear on your framework. What are the ways that you support your client? And everybody has a framework. I promise you that. It's one of the things that I cover, like I said, inside of You Branded. But for my business specifically, I really wanted to focus on what I was at the time teaching through one-on-one. So I started my business coaching, doing one-on-one services. And many of my clients start that way. In fact, I think it's one of the best ways to kind of vet a course idea. Start working with people one-on-one, getting feedback, mapping out your framework, figuring it out, and then turning it into a course. Do you have to do that? No, you don't. But many of my clients choose to go that route because it allows them to make money while they get their foundation and their footing started in their business, and then they're able to turn that into a course, which is amazing. So understand your framework. The other piece of your framework is that each of these different pillars that you have could break out into an individual course, or you could create a course on the entire framework. So an example of this is inside my program Roadmap to Freedom, I teach my entire framework. So I'm talking about brand foundations, community growth, marketing, and selling with authenticity, and then the systems that you need to scale. You Branded focuses on just one pillar, and that's my brand foundations. So you can use this framework to build out multiple courses, to create a client ascension model. It's really quite beautiful. So figure out your framework. What are the pillars that you're teaching and guiding your ideal customer through, and then decide how you want to build your course. The second thing that you want to do is build a targeted audience. So one of the things that I was doing for years was building an audience around the concept of personal branding. And so when I launched my course, people were ready to buy because they were here for that purpose. So if you've been building a business around this like core idea from the beginning, you already have a community of people who are going to be interested in your course. But if you haven't, and this is maybe a new idea, you can absolutely start building your community now. In fact, I recommend you start building your email list in your community long before the course is even ready, so that when the course is ready, you can launch it and you have people to actually sell it to. So this looks like building your email list using advanced marketing strategies that we teach over here at Brandmerry, over on the Brandmerry blog, at Brandmerry Academy, on how to build your email list using SEO, Pinterest, YouTube, all of those different things. And you really want to bring in targeted people for your course. So that looks like maybe a lead magnet specific to the course that you are ultimately going to be offering. In my case, I have a lead magnet called Your Personal Brand Roadmap. And that's all about your personal brand and what you need to do to create it. And that leads very effortlessly to my program. So number two is build a target audience of ideal customers for your course before you are ready to launch. Give yourself plenty of time here. All right, number three is that I created a wait list and I teased my offer like crazy. So if you know anything about me, you know that I love showing up regularly for my audience. That includes blogging, video content like you're watching here, email, Instagram, social media, all the things. And I have a very streamlined repurposing plan that lets me stretch my content out on multiple platforms. But when I was gearing up for my course launch, and even today, if I'm ever gearing up for a launch of anything, I always talk about it way before the doors open. So on episodes of Mondays with Michelle, I was saying, I have a new course coming out called You Branded, and you can join the waitlist here. And I was talking about it constantly so that my audience was really ready to go when the doors open. And I could answer any questions and handle any objections before the doors actually open. And this is really helpful. And even when you start to evergreen your course, which we'll talk about in a minute, or you move into this live launching model, maybe you decide to have a course that you launch every quarter, spending the first 30 days minimum teasing that offer is really highly suggested, and creating content that's specific to that offer will help with the selling process. I tell my clients that the selling doesn't actually happen when the doors open through when the doors close. It's happening 30, 60, 90 days leading up to that. So one of the best things that I did was build this anticipation for a new course offer that I had. I had a substantial wait list, and then I was able to have conversations with those waitlisters, getting them excited and ready to sign up for the program. Then that led us to number 4, which is I live launched the program. So I personally didn't go out of the gate and straight to evergreen. I know a lot of people who love to teach that, and good on them, and that might work well for you, but I personally want to test things. I want to test my messaging. I want to test graphics. I want to get feedback from people. And so live launching is my favorite thing to do, to be in it, to hear from people, and to be able to test everything and use that data to then spend money in evergreen later on. So I recommend live launching. And one of the things that I did when I launched You Branded is I launched it for a lower price because it was the first time that I was putting it out into the world. And I launched it to my email list that I had been growing through my marketing, through my content. And I got people to sign up. And I really stressed that this was the first time this course was being handed to anyone. And that feedback was essential. And so I would survey them frequently and say, how is it going? What's going on? I would ask emails. I had assessments. We asked for testimonials. And then that allowed me to really pack my course with testimonials and proof when I was ready to ultimately evergreen the program. So I recommend live launching, getting those testimonials out the gate. I don't really love to call it beta because I feel like beta is kind of like a cop-out, right? Like I'm kind of launching, just like fully launch, go in, offer it at a discounted price, get those testimonials, get that social proof, and use that for when you're going to launch and possibly evergreen the course later on in your journey. Now, when you live launch, a couple things that I want to, just like touch on. You absolutely can offer support. So some of my programs that I've put out into the world for the first time, I also offered support. So a Facebook group or weekly calls or something like that. But when I launched You Branded, I really just said, hey, here is the program, here's the course, there's a Facebook group, you can ask me questions if you need to, because I knew that I was going to do that with the Evergreen course as well, right? I wasn't going to be doing calls or anything like that. So I wanted to really test that model with that first live launch, prove it works, prove people could get results, and then use that to my advantage. And that really leads us to step 5, which is evergreening the course. Once you have gone through this process, you have testimonials, people have gone through it, the way to build a 6-figure course that's recurring is through this evergreen model. And that basically means that someone can sign up through an email funnel, through a masterclass, through a challenge, through a video series, and it's 100% automated. Now, there are deadlines. There are ways to add urgency. For instance, if you watch my masterclass, you'll get an opportunity to join You Branded, but you're only given that opportunity for a short amount of time. And we have technology and cool systems in place that actually honor that, right? You can't access the sales page after your deadline has expired. And so this model works really well because we're consistently bringing in new leads through my lead magnet, through my masterclass. They're getting an opportunity to buy You Branded through my email funnel. And so we're getting daily, weekly sales for this product. And that truly is how businesses build these sustainable evergreen models. But a couple things that you need to know about that. Number 1 is that you want to make sure that your course is set up for distribution. So y'all know I'm a big fan of Kajabi over here. And if you go to brandmerry.com/Kajabi, you can actually try Kajabi out right now and get a sweet bonus from me all about live launching. So if you join Kajabi through my link at brandmerry.com/Kajabi, and then you sign up, right? You become a paying client of Kajabi, I will give you my live launching guide. So you're going to create your course and then you're going to have to sell it. And I'm going to teach you how to do that as a sweet bonus when you join Kajabi. But Kajabi is a great platform to put all your course materials on, your videos, your audios, your workbooks, your notes, all the things, build out a membership portal so that when people join, they have access to this. Remember, people are joining at any time. That's kind of the goal. So you want to make sure that they have access to everything that they need. You're able to drip that content if you choose to do so, and it's just streamlined and absolutely beautiful. The second thing that you want to make sure is set up is that your client onboarding is automated. Again, we use Kajabi for this. We like to keep it all in one spot. So from the second that someone buys the product to receiving the confirmation page, to getting a confirmation email, to getting their login data, to filling out their assessment when they're done with the course, all of that is set up in Kajabi. We even have emails that go out after someone completes each module just saying, oh my gosh, you're doing amazing, keep going. And I really love that because even though it is an evergreen program, even though it's automated and you're not getting live support from me, it feels like that I'm supporting you every step of the way. So again, Kajabi is a great platform to do that, but you want to make sure that your client onboarding is automated. And then ultimately choose how you're going to sell it. Are you going to sell it on a masterclass, through an email funnel, a video series, a challenge? What does this look like? But you want it to be recurring. So you want to make sure that it's not something you have to do live all of the time in order to make sales. Now you can live launch it. I will open the doors to you branded a couple times a year, and that feels amazing. But we have this recurring evergreen revenue coming in the back. And then it's about testing, putting it out there, testing it, doing that live launch, getting testimonials, getting feedback, using that to sell, testing on organic, testing. I really can't stress that enough. So many people just jump in, start throwing money at their course without knowing their numbers. So make sure that everything is functioning inside of your funnel before you start scaling it. And then it's about scaling it. So getting super clear on how much money you can give every single month, looking at your numbers and saying, all right, if I spend $1, I make $4 off of this course. So I'm going to continue to scale that. And that's what you really want to look at. And those are some of the things that we teach inside of Brandmerry Academy, looking at your numbers and then scaling and then giving more. And that's truly the key. You will create an evergreen product and it will be successful, but it does come down to your numbers. And when you follow these 5 steps, you're setting yourself up for success so that you have all of the pieces in place, and then you can continue to grow and scale and build and build and build and build using things like Facebook ads, Pinterest ads, and organic measures like we teach inside of the Academy. If you want a complete rundown of how we set up our courses in Kajabi, that whole automation process, you can check that out on the blog. Go to brandmerry.com/blog and have a look at how we actually set everything up in Kajabi and use it and all that sweet stuff. But I want you to know that creating a course is 100% possible for you. I highly recommend it when it is the right time in your business. So again, I recommend testing your materials, making sure they are proven, that they work, that you've got testimonials out of the gate, and then just continue to scale. That's truly, I think, kind of how everything in business works. Test it, scale it, test it, scale it. If you're ready to take action now, if you're ready to start building your course inside of Kajabi, make sure you go to brandmerry.com/Kajabi and get signed up. This month only, I am offering that sweet, sweet bonus that when you become a paying customer of Kajabi, you will get my entire live launching guide. It includes your masterclass materials, how to host a challenge, how to do a live launch. And that's really going to support you in putting your course out there for the first time. Well, there you have it. 5 ways to create a 6-figure course offer. These are the exact steps that I went through. And what I really want to stress is that there was a lot of testing that had to happen, right? A lot of testing, making sure that my framework and my offer worked before I took the time and energy, put an entire course around it, building up anticipation for it, seeing how many people were interested in it, adjusting my messaging based on how I was talking about it and how people were responding with the wait list, taking the time and energy to build an email list and build subscribers who would ultimately buy that course. And as I've mentioned, I personally recommend and love the idea of live launching a course or a program and being in it and in the nitty-gritty and getting feedback and fine-tuning your messaging so that when you're done with that live launch, you can jump right into the evergreen process and feel really confident in putting some money behind that funnel and behind that course, knowing that you are going to make it back. And then it's really about watching your numbers. Again, if you want a complete breakdown, I have included the link to the blog in the notes below. You can also go to brandmerry.com/blog blog and search for Six Figure Course, and you will find it there as well. As always, please like and subscribe so you don't miss another episode. I'm back with new episodes every single week. And if you're ready to jump into course creation, go to brandmerry.com/Kajabi, get signed up for Kajabi, test it out, get familiar with it. And when you join as a paying member of Kajabi, you will get access to my complete live launching guide. All right, I will see you soon in another video. And until then, have an amazing time. Bye.